So I got this comment from Carlotta on TikTok. I will quote, "I'm an artist myself and I think these are great. Can I ask about the meaning behind this? The person on the head? Also, what are some artists that have inspired you?" So first of all, thank you and everyone on TikTok and YouTube who are supporting me by commenting, following and liking my videos. Like, it truly means a lot. And this comment got me thinking, and I wanted to do a longer talk about my inspiration and the meaning behind my painting. I will also link just this video down below so you can see the comment and the video that she's talking about, because I have commented on that video just exactly the meaning behind that painting a little bit. So first of all, I started paint when I was very little. Like, I don't even remember when I didn't paint or draw. And my family, they're very creative, so it has come very naturally for me, and it's always been a part of my life to create with my hands. So when I was small, my family mostly taught me how to paint or draw. And this was a time before Pinterest or Instagram, so we mostly used like post-it cards. I also had a favorite cartoon magazine called Witch, so I used those to paint, like mimic. And my mom also got me 2 books, which was a manga book and one anatomy the anatomy book I still have and I still use. And my mother, she mostly used watercolors, but that was never really my style. So, but my grandmother, she loved to use oil painting, and that was much more in my taste. And I remember when we were small, like we painted together, and one time, or like a couple of weeks, we put on Bob Ross, and we just like, she taught me how to use like oils and so on. But mostly I used physical objects like album covers, magazines, books, and post-it cards to just learn how to mimic something and make it more realistic when I was small. Today I like to use Pinterest to use as a reference, and I usually blend that with my own imagination to make it my own. And this takes me a bit to the second way of how I paint and draw. So from a very early age, I remember how my kindergarten teachers could be sometimes almost angry at me because they said I shouldn't waste paper. So what I did was, I like to close my eyes, put the pen to the paper and just swirl around. Afterwards, I opened my eyes and drew what I saw. I just loved it. Like, it was so fun to just look at the paper and see small figures. Was it people? Was it an animal? And just bring them to life. Later in life, I went to art high school, and I feel like that a little bit put down my flame for creating. The thought of being graded on what you love, just like, it was a bit hard because I felt like to create and to just paint was so much part of who I was. So it was a bit like grading who you are, and that's just horrible if you think about it. So after that I stopped painting or drawing for like 2 years. But after that I started to paint and draw again, and from then on I started to work on and go back to the reason for why I like to create. Not to just make it like a perfect picture, it has to be super realistic. No, it was like more for the enjoyment, just, you know, the process. Like, many just see the last finished image, but that is not the most interesting part for me. for me is just like shaping and rearranging and seeing where I want the colors, and just the process of creating. That is what I love to do, and not the outcome, because that is not the most interesting part. That's just something that is the end result. It's not the 2 hours of my life. It's sometimes I spend like a month, a half a year on a painting, and if I was just grading it on like the last result, it would be so hard on my soul, because like it's the time I have spent on it. Like it's just the enjoyment of moving. Like you dance, you don't dance for the last applause, you dance because it's enjoyable. So anyways, for a couple of years I just painted without any reference. I didn't want to compare my art with anything. I just wanted to pure imagination. And when I started to paint again, I just realized I love very strong colors. This video doesn't show that really, but this is a new phase of how I paint, and that's just how it is, and I like it. So anyhow, this year actually I started to use reference photos, mostly from like sculptures, because I like the harsh shadow that one can see from those photos, and then I like to mix it with my own imagination. So back to the question, do I get inspired by artists? I have realized that whenever I have fallen in love with someone's art and I try to copy it, it just feels very wrong for me. It's like I look at the painting and wonder, like, where am I? Where am I in this painting? But I do have some artists that I have really enjoyed, like Salvador Dali, and I would totally recommend that you read his like memoir or biography or whatever you want to call it, because he's crazy and it's very fun to read. Like it's enjoyable. And then I like this photograph or like mixed medium artist called Frank Ockenfields. He has really cool art. Some of them are a little bit more vulgar but cool. I like it. And then one of my favorites is John Bauer. He's a Swedish illustrator or artist, or was, and he just made the most dreamy, beautiful, like folklore. It's so amazing. I love it. But otherwise, I don't really know so many artists, just because I like to create my own creation. But maybe you could say today that I'm inspired by sculptures, because that's mostly where I get my reference from. But my paintings are mostly like a diary for me. It's a place where I see how I'm feeling, like where is my heart, where is my head. And this is mostly the meaning behind my paintings also, which was one of the questions, like what is the meaning behind my paintings? It's like an image of my inner self. And actually this has helped me a lot from times, and especially a specific period of my life when I was very detached from myself and I felt cold, I felt lost. So during that period of time I used my art and my drawings and paintings to help myself process that times and understand my feelings. But this was like a long time ago, before I started displaying my art here on YouTube and now on TikTok. But I can really recommend to just like, don't be judgmental of your art. Just create for the sake of creating, because it's very nourishing for yourself. It's a nice way to relax. It's a way to get away from this fast life we're all living with computers and scrolling and everything. At last, I would like to say that I'm very happy and grateful for everyone on YouTube and TikTok who are giving these nice comments and follow me and so on, because I've been very like afraid before to show my art. I've been very criticizing myself a lot, because I've had this high standard that it has to be perfect, or it has to look a specific way, or it has to look a specific way. But I'm very happy that I can show you guys something that I really like, and it's not from a judgmental place, it's not from a self-hatred place, it's from a self-loving place, it's from a place where I do something without really judging myself. Like sometimes you may see my content that it's like, oh, maybe it looks a bit like this, or maybe it looks a little bit like that, and it's just because it's a way of creating. You don't have to look a certain way to create. Like, just do it. Just do it. Anyways, I want to thank you very much, and I hope you have a great day. So please comment if you have any question, and I will make a video, because I feel like maybe these longer videos might be a place where I can answer your questions, and even if you have a question, you can put it in the shorts or on TikTok videos. So I will just take my time, write down what I feel and think, and I will come back and answer in a longer video. So have a nice day. Bye bye.